Mike test, Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike. Where are you at, Mr. Mike? We need you at the office. Mike, test. Is it crunching coming through? All right, let's do this thing. Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Workflow Madness here on Country Fried Minis. I gotta mute this playback. It's hot here. It's hot. It's hot here. I'm a state, y'all. Okay, so tonight was gonna be the regularly scheduled painting episode, but I'm not quite done with the prints for my client. I got to print out a few more mechs. I neglected to get those done yesterday, and I need to finish the Longbow. So tonight, instead of the painting stuff, we're gonna dive into some Blender action again, and see how that goes. Let's dip on in. Hope all y'all are doing well tonight. Welcome, welcome. Howdy, Calixus. Howdy, David Feifei. Howdy, Cotakes241. Hello, Nathan. Howdy, Wallman. Welcome. Looks like the LGB 10K is getting some love here too. And let me pull these up for y'all. Let me pull all these up for y'all, and I can tell you about what you're looking at. The OH, of course, is the crazy thing with 3 rocket launcher 20s, a pair of PPCs, and rocket launcher 15s in each torso. And then you got the, who's next? The 7V. 7V is absurd. It downgrades the LRMs to just 220s with Artemis, and it's got 5 medium pulse lasers and an ER large laser. The 10K is a medium pulse laser, ER large laser, and then a pair of Ultra AC20s, of course. And then the 13C is one of my most favorites. It's 6 MML7s with Artemis. It's kind of absurd. Kotek says there's a C3 MRM longbow. I don't know if it actually has MRMs, but I did see one with... There's one that uses C3 slave and light autocannons, and then I saw one with a, here we go, C3 boosted slave off the 14C. So 6 MML9s with a C3 boosted slave unit. Yeah, super fun. Longbow is a great chassis. 10K is just direct fire support on LRM boat chassis. The poor man's Fafnir. Yeah, exactly. I like that it claims that it's got the unique cylindrical housings remaining. I'd love to convert one of those. I may do that. Let's actually, you know what? If we have time tonight, I'll also make an LGBT 10K, and we will upload that to the community as well. But anyhow, y'all, welcome to the workflow session where we get work done. We're not editing tonight. Instead, we're going to be working on some digital kit bashing again. Last time that stream seemed to go over pretty well, so I'm super happy to see that. And we're going to dive into it tonight and hang out and chat. And if you guys have any ideas or tips, please feel free to toss them in there. Always remember to check out the CloudBot page if you'd like to muck with chat. And a reminder that people who participate in Country Fried Minis live streams will receive 10 biscuit coins every 5 minutes of participation where you're chatting. And you can spend those over at the StreamLabs CloudBot store to do silly stuff like interrupt the stream with an Urban Mech Lamb flyover. Those points can also be used on our Tabletop Tuesday events to directly influence the game by buying rerolls and changing dice to 20s and stuff. Yes, Wallman. Lamb, I say. In fact, let me add you some points. Add points. Wallman. Let's give you like, I don't know, have 2,000. All right, let me get this hair under control a little bit, and we can dive in earnest. See if that ad point go through. It did indeed work. 2,000 points there, mister. You can spend those over on the, well, the link in the chat. There's also redemption commands. You can exclamation point, redeem, and then the name of the item. I don't know them all offhand. I need to make a little asset that runs across the screen every now and then. The blood kite bite me ugly, but by God, is it good bang for C-Bill for a clan mech? Blood kite, you say? Blood kite, Sarna. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah, I love that art. I love this art. This is so silly. What are we looking at on a blood kite? 3 ER large lasers, 3 LRM-15s, 3 SRM. God, that is cool. That is heckin' cool. Look at that original artwork too. What a champ. Also, I kind of like that model. I kind of like that model a lot. Let's see. Blood Kite Standard, 1995, directly from Ironwind. Let's check Ares. Let's check Ares. Always recommend going to Ares for your new stuff. They also, they updated their website recently, so congrats to Mr. King doing an upgrade. Blood Kite. Yeah, here you go. Cheapest place on the web to get brand new in-package Ironwind medals. 20% off. $15.96. Foreign stock right meow. Also, his shipping prices are really good too. Yeah, very, very reasonable. Oh, is it called Urban Mech? Exclamation point, redeem Urban Mech. What's that? I can't remember all of them, admittedly. Yeah. Cool. And then we got stuff like, what is it? Redeem Popcat. I will pay you to make a Crimson Langer STL. Unfortunately, I am not a sculptor. I need to learn a lot more to do it. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to import... First, we're going to import our longbow, and we're going to start cutting it down and trying to remove the arms. And then I've got some rockets. We're going to pull off an Aaron, I think is the name of it. Eris, maybe? I can't remember off the top of my head, but let's go into our inner sphere files, and we're going to pop in that good old classic Matt Mason Syllogy failure. Okay, let's set our geometry to origin and then get this guy situated. Lovely. All right. First, we're gonna save things. I'm gonna save a temporary temp project BattleTech. Boom. Drop down a save, and we're gonna start cutting. So, I guess I also need to pop open. I need to pop open Mega Mech real quick as well. So let's run that. And I'm going to consult with my order page, which y'all can't see. I've got it on the other window here. In interest of, you know, not giving people's information out. But let's double check. It is the LGB0H. So what is our LGB0H? Pull up our Sarna page. We're going to start a game here. Now we're going to import our longbow. Blood Kite might be ugly, but by God, is it good bang for buck? Yes, yes, yes. I'm getting top chats here. Whoa, chat is doing crazy things on this page. Hold on. Why is it on top, chat? Why is it on top, chat? There we go. There we go. I'm caught up now. Okay. So let's look up the Longbow. And it's a 0H. So we'll select it. And then let's take a peek at our mech here. So, PPCs in the left and right torso. 3 rocket launcher 10s in the torsos, and then how many is this? Left arm. 10, so 100 tubes in each arm. 100 tubes in each arm, 30 tubes in the torso. And then also PPCs, which is fine. We can put the PPCs right here. We'll jam the PPCs in right there. That'll look fine. And I think we can cram in 30 tubes right here. What I want to do is just get rid of the arms entirely. And I think that's what we're going to start with. So, let's do... first, we're going to add in a new mesh. We're going to add a cube. And we can start with our cube and start cutting with some bool tools. And I think we're just gonna start hacking. So let's expand, grab our little scale tool here, and we're gonna drag some handles until our cube is sizable enough to do what we want it to. And admittedly, this is going to be pretty ham-fisted, y'all, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna smooth over some edges as we get there, a little at a time, and kind of dive into this. I think what we want to do here is try to preserve this detail. Oh, you know what? I just realized too. I forgot something. There we go. Now things are correct. Gotta have my cat paw on. Alright, so. Yeah, it's the same guy who did Desktop Goose. We might need a little contrast though. Let's go with a nice orange cat tonight. Let's go with an orange cat image. Let's grab a nice orangey color here, right here, and we're gonna do. I think this one's got a nice color. There we go. Yes, kitty. All right. Under the arm holders, could you sling the PPCs under the arm holders, then put the 100 tubes above and around the hex-shaped arm pods? Well, the PPCs are in the torsos. Here, let me save this. Let me save this here, and I'm gonna open up the Eris and show you what I think I'm gonna cannibalize here. I think what we're gonna do is just cannibalize these tubes right here. So what I want here is the it's the right, yeah, we want right torso rocket tubes. Yeah, I just need to figure out how to select these guys again. I was also thinking we could use this arm, but this is kind of quintessentially the Eris. 2 times 10s. Are they 20s? It's 10 20s in the arm, so we got these double 10 facings here. Yeah, I think what we'll do is try to dig these things out. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I meant the mini you're pulling apart. Oh yeah, these are all all these tubes are these front. They've just used these panels with the tubes on the front end. But I think what we can do is get this whole thing off of here. I don't know why it's not selecting things, but we'll get there in a moment. First, what I want to do is go back to our let's go back to our temp project, and we're gonna start cutting here. And I think I'm just gonna really ham-fistedly go about this, and we're just gonna get rid of these hex tubes entirely. First, let's duplicate. We're going to duplicate object, and we're gonna hide this. We'll rename this to backup longbow, and we'll hide that. Okay, and like I said, we're just gonna ham-fistedly go at this and start cutting this away with the bool tool. All right, let's see here. Make sure we have a little clearance between the side of our cube and our longbow, and we're just gonna go to town. We'll grab our modifier here, and we're going to where is the Boolean? It's under generate, and we'll do the difference between it and cube. That looks good to me, and we're gonna smash that in and apply it. Bam. Let's drop a save and assess the damage we've done. Yeah, that made a nice clean cut there. So now what I want to do is start using our cube to cut this a little bit at a time. I'm not going to be very good at doing clean cuts. So what we'll do is we'll cut these down a little at a time till it's rough enough, and then smooth it over and it'll work. Another startled skinkweed. Oh, that mech that must shoot all thing. Yes. Another Nate's talking about stink weasels. Are you dealing with skunks in your area? Okay. Let's see here. I think we could maybe add a second cube. Let's add in another cube. So we'll do a cube here, and this, I'm gonna make a smaller one and angle it, I think, is what we're gonna do here. Let's hide cube 1 and get this in place. Let's just cut this guy. Let's cut the top part of this out. So we'll make that nice and long, extend it a bit, grow this a bit. That should be sufficient to do what we're trying to do here. Maybe not. Make it a little taller. And we can start cutting. Just make it a hexagon. You're a hexagon. All right, so I want to get in here and try to cut this as flush as possible to this detail right here. So let's scooch that on in. Well, I want it really close to it. There we go. And I want to try to preserve this little detail as well. So let's move that up and then over a bit. We're gonna end up with a janky, like, stair stepping at first, but we'll smooth it out once we get there. I just tried to look around this object in 3D. I never claimed to be a bright man. Okay, that looks fine to me. Let's run it. We're gonna hit our longbow. We're gonna add a modifier. We're going to generate our Boolean, and we'll do the difference between it and this cube. And that should make a nice clean slice right there, and we will apply that. Boom. If we hide our cube briefly, now see we've managed to keep a little bit of this detail. I think we may need to close some faces real quick. Right here. Or maybe not. Once I smash it all back together again, it should be fine. You know what? It just hit me too. Isn't there a way to separate objects in Blender?
I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop.
Let's
and
pump the brakes a little bit here.
That does it better.
Just for a moment, and see if this is a stacked item. Editing mode, edit mode, and then P. No. Loose parts. Okay, I don't think it is a grouped object. Okay. No, it wouldn't be that easy, would it? It wouldn't. Object subdivide, separate part. Is it subdivide? I don't think that's the name of it. Object mode, object. I don't see a subdivide. And of course, you know, every single edition of Blender here just has things way different. Object subdivide, separate parts, but that subdivide is not in the object. Okay. Separate parts. Separate parts. Blender. Yes. Separate objects in Blender, editing mode, separate P, selection. I don't think it'll work. Let's try though. Let's go back into edit mode. Let's select all, which is just A. And then we can hit P to subdivide. Yeah, no, it's not gonna do it. It's not gonna be that simple, unfortunately. And whatever you're looking up that has separate loose parts. Yeah, I don't think there actually are separate loose parts. In this object. I don't think this object has parts. I've seen it done before with some sculpts, but this has been converted to just one part. So it's not going to be that easy. Then it was joined correct. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, P by loose parts. It's in the edit mode. Yeah. Unfortunately, not all objects that we get off of cults can be as good as that Eris object. So instead, we're just going to continue cutting this apart in a ham-fisted fashion, which I'm fine with. We're just going to keep smashing bull tools against this thing till it yields the results that we're after. So we'll take our cube and try to get it into a decent position here. Let's see. I want to try to preserve this detail on the back as well. This is going to be tough. You mean not all cults models are an assembly of incorrectly adhered geometry? No, but most of it is. I think there's a lot of people out there who are doing sculpts professionally that have no idea what they're doing. I mean, Look at the crap I'm pulling right now. This is case in point of, you know, you could ham-fistedly smash some things together. All right, we're gonna make another cube. So I'm keeping these extra cubes here so I can move it to the other side and start cutting it over there as well. I want to get a cube at a slant and try to preserve this happy detail. It's like ammo feed thingamabob. So what we'll do is we'll add yet another cube. So we'll go to add mesh cube and we'll start sliding that up into place. And I think the way I'm going to be able to do this, we're going to drag this out the front here and try to get it tilted until that matches nicely. So now that we've got an angle on it, I can come in here and adjust its properties in a numerical fashion until we get the angle correct. It looks like it's, let's try a 25-degree angle here. I think that's about right, actually. Not quite right. Maybe it is. If it's not, I think it's close enough. And what we'll do is we will grow this thing. Yeah, it is not quite a 25-degree angle. Let's try 24. That looks a little closer. And what we're going to do is we're going to just make this big-ass cube and bob. And get it in place and smash another bull tool on this boy until it starts to look right. All right, so let's get in there and get this lined up. Set. Yeah, I think 24 is just about right on. It may be like 24 and a half. Acute angle of the hex is 24.5. 24.5. Did they just use like proper geometrical numbers here? You think? It does look to be that way. Yes, thank you for your math, Mr. Nate. It is well appreciated. All right, so we got that in place. It looks like I'm gonna lose a little bit back here, but we can slice that off in this orientation and get rid of it. That looks good. All right, so we'll go back to our longbow. We're gonna hit the little gear icon. We'll add a modifier. We'll go to generate Boolean, and we're gonna snag this cube right here. Yeah, that looks really good. No math, plumbing section at Lowe's. I haven't been to a Lowe's in years. All right, boom, apply. And let's hide this for a moment. Yeah, looky there. So I think these little bits right here will be fairly trivial to get rid of. Yeah. And in fact, let's try to do that in edit mode. So we'll switch over to edit mode and we're going to switch to faces and we're going to start getting rid of faces. So let's just delete that face. Let's delete these faces, delete faces. Let's drop a save before we lose our work. And we're gonna get these faces. Ooh, I selected that too. Yeah, let's do it. Boom, faces. Bow, get out of here. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's angle this around till we find what we're looking for. I think that's a good selection. Look at all those vertices that happen there. Work night stock. at one for 2 years. Night Stock. Welcome to the Night Stock. Got me thinking about Night Veil now. Let's keep going with the faces. Let's get rid of those faces. Let's get rid of these faces. Pow. Oh. I got a notification over here. Someone sharing some stuff? Yes. Heck yes. We have a submission over on the Country Fried Minis Discord. First off, let me give you a gold star, mister. Good luck. If you get 5 of those, your mechs will make it into the top minis on the channel. Or on the Discord, I should say. What are we looking at here? We got a jumping Crusader. I like that this Crusader has the proper SRMs in the legs. I do love that model. That's a very good one. Jumpy Shadowhawk. SRM2 in the head, LRM5 on the torso. Highlander looks mean. Yes. I see. I'm reading the same chat messages because I keep getting put on top chat over there. We got a jumping Highlander. I'm building a stockpile of distractions, like 30 plus mechs to get photographed. I wouldn't call this a distraction as much as part of the workflow sessions. If anybody has things to share, we can pull it up here on the big screen. I love the posing on this model too. Dude, Slink, your color combination works really well here. I know I've said it before, but the contrast you're getting between the oranges and the blues is really nice. And I know that this tone is not a purple, but like it's so far off of this blue that it goes into like a nice warm purpley feel. Just a touch of that red hue in it. Works really well. And it's a reminder that the speed paints look awesome and work really well on mechs. Yeah, fantastic work, my guy. As always. Alright, what else do we need to do here? I think we need to get rid of this thing that's jutting out right there. So let's get our camera moved and slice that off. Let's get rid of that. Delete faces. And we should just have this thing floating about now. Delete faces. We still have a little bit of geometry sticking out. Let's deal with that right here. Delete faces. This one right here. Delete faces. We have an extra floating bit. Delete faces. Alright, I think that does leave some weird parts right here. Let's drop another save really quick. And we're going to select those and get rid of those. And try to weed out little extra bits. There's a hole here I'm not really happy with. We can deal with that later as we approach it. Let's get rid of those. Bam. Alright, it'll be fairly trivial to fill those back in. And remember, the black helicopters are your friends. Ah, yes. Big recommend Night Veil if you're unawares. Okay, so we have a problem here that I want to get rid of. So we got this little bit of geometry sticking out. But there's no face. There's no line on this back end. So I think what we're going to do, need 2 hands to take pictures, maybe later. What? No. You need 1 hand free while watching Country Fried Minis. Alright, let's go back into our object mode. And we can see we've got these holes here. we're not too worried about it because we're going to smash these parts together and then join them and recalculate the exterior anyways. But I think what we're going to do here is once we have this kind of set up how we want, we can duplicate this portion and then move it to the other side, reversed, and excuse me, we can mirror the other end. Where are we at? Where are we at? Let's use a new cube. So we're going to add another mesh cube. Let's in here. And I will also I will repost this. I may just upload this to my cults page once we're done. I don't know how that works with remixing, to be honest. I'll definitely share it among the Country Fried Minis community. I don't really want to necessarily try to claim any of this work from Syllogy as my own, because it's not. But we are going to be perfunctorily providing a chassis that ain't nobody else got on the cults page once we're done with this, provided it works out, of course. All right, that looks good. We just need to get rid of that little floaty bit, and we're going to add another Boolean. We're going to generate a Boolean. We're going to get our difference between here and there, and we are going to calculate and apply it. Boom. Yeah, nice clean cut. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to fill that hole yet. I think you just tag the original model and call it a remix. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. All right, let's drop another save, because I think we have a nice looking arm support setup going on. Looking all right to me. I actually think I want to trim off a little bit more of this bit. So let's do that real quick before we move too far. So we're going to take our little cube again. Take our little cube and we're going to shift it on in. And I think we're going to bring it out like so. There we go. That looks good. I don't think it's tall enough. It is not tall enough. So we'll scale this cube up a little bit. There we go. We can oversize it some and get this in position. That looks decent. Can we actually push this in a little bit to there-ish? Are we cutting into any of this? A little bit. All right, that looks good to me. All right, so once again, we're just bool tooling our way through this. We're going to generate a Boolean. We're going to grab our dropper on the cube. It's starting to struggle with that, and sometimes I find when you need one hand busy while watching Country Fried. Yes. Sometimes when it kind of breaks, I don't know if you can see I have it set to difference with the Boolean to exact calculation, and it's calculating this as part of the object. So I'll switch the solver over here to fast, and I can see now that it is indeed going to cut off that bit. I don't know how this works or why that works. I just have found that sometimes switching it does the thing. Now we got these nice holes, but it's fine. We'll fill them in as we need. Fill which hole? No. And actually, yes, we are actually going to fill these holes. Yeah, we need to do that now before we get too far into this. So, what we'll do is we will drop a save, and we're going to swap back to edit mode. Okay. And we need to find our holes that we need to fill. I think, let me look up how to select loop in Blender. Alt left mouse button to select a loop of connected edges that pass through the edge under the mouse pointer. Okay, let's see if that does the trick. So we can go to the edges tool here, and what I'll do is I'll select this edge right here. I just want this one though. Just want that edge. And we'll alt click that. No. It's not doing what I want. Okay. We have some rogue geometry that's going to be problematic. Unfortunately. Yeah, I see like these vertices over here are doing some weird stuff. But that's because we made a ton of cuts. Let's get zoomed in. Let's start to see where these points join. All right. I don't remember how to deselect. What is the deselect? Deselect Blender. It is Shift Control right mouse button. No, that is not at all what it does. What the hell are you talking about? I'll just click off it. That worked. All right. Expanding foam. Yeah, shift click. Shift click adds to your selection. All right, so I think what we're gonna do here, in order to make this work, we need to get rid of a little bit more geometry. So let's select these faces right here and get rid of those. Boom, face is gone. And then there's another little bit that's hanging out right there. And we're gonna get rid of those as well. Boom. Face is gone. All right. Now we've just made a mess of all this, but that is fine. It is hunky-dory, y'all. We're going to create some new edges. Not to be confused with edging. So I'm going to select vertice right up here at the top. I want to select this vertice. Vertex? Vertices? Vertex. And then we'll select this one. Shit, I didn't hold down shift. So we go back over here, we hold down shift. And then we're going to create a new edge face from vertices. There we go. Excellent. Now what we can do is we can go to our edges. And we're going to add in these new edges over here. Alt click it. There we go. There's some weird geometry stuff happen here that I would very much like to zoom in further on, but I'm struggling with. There's like an extra vertex or an extra face right there. Okay, that looks okay. Let's check the other side and zoom in on it here. Yeah. We want to remove that one. And I think there's even more selected. Unfortunately, Blender does not let me zoom in infinitely. Control Z, no. Control Z is explicitly not allowed. We're going to create a new face from edges. And now we've started laying the foundational work of filling this shit in. Okay. Now we can deselect and start doing some work here. We're going to go back to our vertices. And we're going to select these connection points. think that's correct. Maybe not. We'll select that one. Yeah, there we go. Got those selected. And then we're going to come over here. And I may need to make another line across is what I need to do. Maybe not, though. We can zoom in on this. I wish I could zoom in further. It is very frustrating that my zoom is so limited. All right, and we're going to select that and that, and we will create a new edge/face from vertices. There we go. We're working our way down this mech. So, same deal. Grab our new vertex here and that one, and we're just going to manually do this thing. And let's put that in and triangulate it and do a new face. And now with that, we should have a nice clean line across there. Excellent. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab right here to there, and then on the other side as well. We'll zoom in. And this is definitely busy work, but once we get through this, it'll be a lot easier. If you move the origin down a bit, you can change the zoom down a bit. You can change the zoom center. The origin is well, the issue here is like it only lets you zoom in so far. And then like if I zoom all the way in, it just stops zooming at a certain point. You're saying I've got to move the origin to where I want to zoom into? That's so clunky. All right. Selected these things, and we'll do that. We got a nice clean edge now. All right, let's go back to object mode. How do I move the origin? Set origin to 3D cursor. No, I don't know how to move it around. Set origin to geometry. Move it away from where you, move it away from where you want to zoom into, like put it between the feet. Okay. Let's do origin 3D cursor. Zoom in. It's still like that's so clunky. I still can't quite get in like I need to. But that is a little better. I feel like this would probably work if I scaled it up like 1,000 times or something. Which could be a solution. Anyhow, we're going to continue. We're going to shift click these edges, and we're going to just make these polygons until these holes are filled. And once the holes are filled, I can take my bool tool and cut out a portion of this, and it will it'll work a little better. Is that something weird happening here? I think we need to create a triangle right here. New face from, yeah. And then we need to do that again for right here. We're just going to walk this down. New edge from face. And we're going to walk it on. Oops, I deselected the wrong one. Same thing. New edge there. Yeah, there we go. Once we can start going down the side, I think we'll be good. So right here, and we can start filling in this flat edge. New face from edge. Yeah, excellent, excellent, excellent. And we're going to just create some fun geometry here. I believe those are all on this line. I can't quite tell. No, they are not all on the line. There's some weird geometry stuff happening. So I think we may still just have to keep walking this down one polygon at a time, just to make sure we don't end up with serious problems later on down. New face. And we'll come back over here and we'll, because we have all these vertices here, we're going to walk it down. We'll deselect here and we will select the next one down like so, and we will new face. Deselect the top, select the next one down, and just walk it down that face until it starts to look okay. Okay. Because I think on the back end here, the geometry's a little cleaner. We're just going vertex to vertex down here. So it may be problematic to get that closed in how we want. And in fact, let's go ahead and start making triangles out of this. Same deal. We want to come in here. We want to find our vertex. I can maybe even get rid of that vertex right there. Delete vertices. What did that do to our geometry? So clunky to try, and I need to zoom way in. Yeah. I think we want to merge these. Merge vertices at center. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. Okay. And then we want to select these right here, I think, and merge those as well. Maybe not, because we have this little bit here. Select all the vertices on the line and merge. Yeah, exactly. That's what I have done now. In fact, we're going to merge these three right here, I believe. And just condense that down some. I can't. The geometry's a little weird there. Yes. I imagine the chat delay is maddening at times, Nate. Okay, so we have a weird little bit happening here. Man, if I could just like rotate and see what I'm trying to see. I think we need to make a face out of those. Okay. And now we'll take these here and connect that to our triangle back over here. Right? Or does it need to go the next one down? No, that's correct. We'll create a new edge from that as well. Excellent. Excuse me. All right, we're getting there. I think now that we have all those merged, we can select these and just do some busy work over here. Let's make a new face with all these. New face. No, I selected something I shouldn't have there. New edge face. Is it doing a weird twist situation? It is. Oh, I have something selected inside. Okay. Is that still doing a twist? It is not doing a twist, and I think we have just made it around the bottom. And we can start slapping a top on that thingamabob. Let's zoom in here. And I wonder if we can merge these without destroying the geometry. Let's try right here and merge these. Merge. Boom. Oh, that worked beautifully. Can we do the same here with this geometry? Can we merge these vertices at center? We can. It didn't break it too bad. I think that looks okay. So we're going to select these and that, and we're going to start making our new faces here. Wow. Do we need this little bit of geometry there? It's like some weird stuff happening along this edge. I'm almost tempted to slap a cube in there and join them. Can we just get rid of some of this? I don't know that we can. How do you add a vertex along a line? Along a line. Press W, select subdivide, select new. Oh, it's so silly sometimes trying to figure out how to do stuff. W is not doing what I need it to do. No, that is not. If you have two vertices selected and already connected an edge, you can put a vertex at the mouse selection. If you have two vertices selected, already connected along edge, control right mouse button will create a planar face. Okay, but I want to put a vertex along a line. Place new vertex. Yeah, but like, you're saying these things and I don't know where they're at. Edge, subdivide, okay, slide vertex, but it's not, that did nothing. Edge, subdivide, number of cuts, 1. How do I execute it? Enter? No. There we go. Well, it made multiple cuts, even though I told it to only do 1. But that's fine. Now I can go back to vertex, and I have new vertices at least. In vertex, slide vertex in vertex. Slide vertices, yes. And then it is Shift V. Okay, thank you. And now what we'll do is we'll try to add in some more geometry. We want this, that, boom, 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 and then we want this one. And we're going to create a new face. Yes, there we go. And we can start turning these into triangles along the line. Wow, excellent, new face. Did that select something internally? It kind of looks like it did. Maybe not. The shading kind of looks like it did. But that's fine. All right. Boom, boom, bow. New face. Excellent. We are trucking now, y'all. So we want here, here, and then there should be more geometry there. New edge slash face. Boom, boom, boom. New face. There we go. We're flying along. And soon I'll be able to cut this off, mirror it, slap it on the other side, and we can actually start hammering stuff together. New edge face. I guess doing this kind of work is a reminder that if you are part of a community of modeling enthusiasts, you find yourself somewhere like the Country Fried Minis Discord, and you chat with people about these projects and processes, we can often come to get to the work you want done together. Thank you, another Nate. All right, I think I may need to subdivide this again. So we're gonna select our edge. We're gonna click this here. I've already forgotten how to do it, but we're going to edge, subdivide, and boom. And now we have a new, we have a new vertex right there. And we want to select these bits. New edge face. Excellent. We're going to continue our triangles. Pow, just like so. Is our geometry getting weird yet? I'm sure it is. Let's select here, here, and there. New edge face. Yeah, that did a weird thing. So I think we need to subdivide one more time here. I'm going to select this edge. We're going to edge. We're going to subdivide. And we can continue doing our vertex thing. Pow, pow, pow. New edge face. Excellent. Same thing here. Boom. New triangle. Pow. I think we maybe want to do one more subdivision here, just to make sure our things are working all right. Subdivide. Ow. Back to vertex. Select this geometry, and we will new edge face. Yeah, see, that looks like we are trucking now. We almost have that hole filled. All right, so we need here, here, here. And then I think our last one is right here. And we now have that hole filled. I mean, it's a mess. It's a mess of geometry, but it's filled. Don't make it sound like I know what I'm doing. I just collect information. Well, oftentimes having a second pair of eyes Googling things is very, very helpful. Let's drop a save. Let's zoom in here. Let's see if we can't start cleaning up this geometry as well. There is a bit of a mess happening right here that I don't really like. In fact, I want to see if I can't remove that geometry, this little panel that's sticking out here. So we're going to go to our faces, and we're going to start deleting some faces. Pow. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this little bit right here. Faces, get those out. I almost feel like we can maybe merge all these vertices right here. Let's go to our vertex mode. Let's select all of that mess. M for merge at center. Yeah, that did a lot of work for us. And then we'll also merge these right here. M merge at center. That broke something. That broke some kind of geometry. But you know, that's fine. because we're going to fix that with our face tool right now. We're going to get rid of all this. Get rid of all of that right there. Boom. Delete faces. We're going to delete this face too. Delete faces. We're going to try to reduce this to just as few polygons as we can. Edges. I want to get rid of these edges right here. Why can't I select more than one edge? I want all of these gone. Delete edges. Delete edges. Excellent. Now, all that extra geometry, this shit's just gone. Lovely. Let's check where our vertices are. There's something happening in that back corner that I'm not really sure what it's doing. So I think what we want to do here is try to merge these. We're going to merge those. Merge these at center. Yeah, that fixed that geometry problem. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Looking good. And I think we also want to merge those two. M for merge at center. Clean up that geometry really nicely. M for merge. There is some extra stuff happening here. I'm not really sure what it's trying to do. But it looks like we're starting to get some nice edges that will work for our geometry. So now we can take pow. Let's create a new edge there. And we can start filling in edges. Yeah. We'll remove this back edge and we'll rotate that. Oops, wrong one. Remove the back, rotate it forward, new edge. Remove the back, click the next one down, new edge. And now all of a sudden we have this nice shape starting to happen. All right. And we'll do the same back here. We're going to click these edges, new edge, or new face. We'll start rotating it in, press F, select, and then deselect, F. And we're just going to work our way around till we've got this hole nice and filled. That one didn't work. We want to merge these two, I think. M for merge at center. There we go. And we just got to start plunking at the geometry so it comes together. This internal stuff we're not worried about. Boom. There, new face. Rotate this up, new face. Same here. Oh, I see what happened. This actually should be right here, face. And then rotate this up. And then I think we can actually merge these guys here at center. Yeah, that looks good. And new face for F. Get a lot of geometry happening here as well. I think we can maybe merge all of these, to be honest, right there. That looks all right without breaking it too bad. Okay, yeah. Bam, bam, bam. Face. Then I think we now can start working up this vertical edge. And it should start closing this thing in. It should indeed start closing it in. Looks like we can go all the way up the side. Yeah. And we're still just working up the geometry. Face, new face. New face. New face. Okay. I wonder if we can merge those together, honestly. But let's not stress about it too much. Just make a new face. As long as the vertices are kind of spread out enough for me to continue walking up the edge there, that works fine for me. All right, we now have this back end completely closed in. And I guess this is how these modelers end up with so much like extra geometry just kind of floating around. So that leaves us, this is filled, this back end here is filled. Okay, so we can start filling in this end. So same deal, F for fill, or F for face, I should say. Can we get away with just going all the way across like that? It kind of looks like it. Let's see if we can merge some of the vertices over here. What is happening right here? What is all this mess? I think we can get rid of that. We're going to get rid of these faces right here. Delete faces. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Well, we made a new hole here. So I think we can fix that by joining these vertices. So we're going to select all that, and we're going to M to merge that at center. There we go. Very cool. All right, same deal here. We'll grab that. We'll grab this and that. We'll create a new face, and then we will walk it up. Deselect the back one, select the next one up. Deselect the back one, select the forward one. Pow. And in fact, I think we maybe want to join these two right here. Merge at center. That looks okay to me. We have some weird like slopes happening, but in essence, we now have this nice smooth edge. Let me go back to object mode, and y'all can see now we got this like smooth edge that we can attach things to. They're gonna look really good. You want crazy longbow? We are indeed making a crazy longbow tonight. I got you covered. Oh. You're not able to share links in the chat, but if you're a member of the Country Fried Minis Discord, you're welcome to post it over there, and we'll pull it over on the screen. You need to make the short bow. Yes. Yes. What can we do for a short bow? I don't think there is I don't think there's an official short bow. That would be interesting. Like, would it just be like oh, yes, SRM short bow. Yes, that is, yes. I approve. I actually, run a SRM boat when I'm playing with the longbow in MechWarrior 5. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so we got some weird stuff happening with the geometry here. I think we're just gonna try to do something similar and start merging. Excuse me. I think we're just gonna merge geometry. until this stuff starts to look like tenable. Like right here, all this geometry, like why? We don't need any of that. Let's rotate the camera so we can see it, and we're gonna just smash all that together. Boom, merge. Done dealio. Okay, I think we can work with that. Let's see, let's merge those. And then we'll make a new face right here. Pow, 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 pow. Hit F. And then we're going to just do the same thing. We're going to walk this triangle down the side. Boom. New face. Walk it down the side over here. New face. I think we're going to walk it down this side now. New face. I think we can merge all that too. Boom. Merge at center. Simplify the geometry. Face. And then we'll remove these two. Pop one down there. Face. I think... I mean, that looks crazy. Some kind of weird feed mechanism. See how that looks in object mode? Because it's got some funky geometry happening. But I kind of like that this has got this little thing sticking out. Once we slam in the rocket launchers, it'll feed into it really nice. This is really cool, not gonna lie. Well, I'm glad you think so, Commander Kudrow. This has been kind of experimental, kind of diving into it. I've also been going around in multiple MechWarrior streams and servers to spread the word of the short bow. Even got someone to make and use it in MWO. Well, we can maybe make that a possibility. I think I'm aiming now to build the, we're going to be working on the, what is it? The LGB-0H Spitfire. Right? Is it the one? No, it's this one right here. The LGB-0H. So it's 26 one-shot rocket launcher 10s, and then we're putting 2 PPCs on it. I said I was going to try to do a different longbow variant. But you know, once I have this cut down, this will be a good chassis to save and start working with it to make those custom variants. Yes, indeed. Alright, so we got some weird geometry stuff happening here. I think I want to clean that up as well. And we can maybe do that by not really sure exactly how we're going to do that. I think we can maybe just start to enclose this geometry. Or like, let's merge those. Merge at center. Let's just start to make... Oops, shit. Just start to merge things. Merge at center. Those can be merged too. Okay. There's so much geometry. But I think we can work with that. Let's start enclosing it. Right here to hit there to there. New face. Here to there, new face. Here to there, new face. Here to there. I don't really know what's going to be the best way to fill that. Maybe let's roll that back a little bit. Let's get rid of that face. I think what we need to do is walk it down here, maybe? Let's try closing this first. Bam. Let's do that. Let's close. What is happening in here? No. Control Z. Do we just remove all of this stuff here? We could maybe just delete all of that. Let's try it. Let's drop a save. By the way, what's a sensible missile weapon for the longbow? What is the most sensible system for the longbow? Please enlighten me. Let's just delete all these faces. Oh, okay, this is where we start to run into problems. Arrow form, naturally. I think you'd get along with certain members of the community. That's funny. Yes, indeed. Arrow 4s. Okay. Let's close that face. Let's remove this and close this face. There we go. We're starting to see something. Walk this up here. Okay. I think maybe we do just walk this up the side of the thingamabob. Boom. New face. Yeah, we're gonna just walk this up till it closes off and looks decent. I think maybe now we can make a new angle between that. Okay. And we can close this off down here. Excuse me. And then we got to close these. And then we can close this. Yeah, I think that's watertight. I can't really tell. I need to zoom in a little further. I'm a little surprised here. This has turned into a little bit more work than I was anticipating, but once we get this section done, we can start smashing the bool tools back together again. Yeah, that looks watertight to me there. We do have like a weird little bit happening here. I almost want to just enclose that. And I think we're gonna enclose that. Boom. Let's just enclose all of that. Yeah, that looks way better. Is that watertight geometry? It looks watertight to me. Hopefully. And then we got to keep walking this up, unfortunately. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk that up. We're going to walk that up. Just keep walking it up the sides. We're going to seal this all in. Pow. Seal you. Oh, there's extra geometry here, so we need to select those and merge them. I don't want to transform. I want to merge at center. There we go. All right. Pow. That also needs to be merged. M at center. Pow, pow, pow. Face. New edge. Face. New. Those can be merged. M to merge at center. Select these. Face. F for face. Deselect the back one. Select the next one. F for face. And once we get this sealed up, we'll be looking good. I find this really interesting. It is. I suppose it has some appeal. I know just the smallest amount of work in Blender. Mostly I use Boolean tools to, smash things together. I think here, we can actually, merge all this geometry. M, boom. Yep. And then we're going to merge all these too. We're just simplifying geometry now. M, merge, center. Let's merge... Shit, let's merge all that. Why not? I mean, I'm just going to make this flattened off anyways. So now we'll do those two. Bam, F for face, deselect the back. Same deal. We're going to walk this forward. Deselect, select, F. Deselect, select, F. Bam, walk it down. Walk it down. You make minis? No, but I do know a little bit about just the tiniest bit about Blender, and in this case, my client has requested specific variants for their. I've got a client who's hired me for a commission over on Fiverr for a company of mechs, and they have requested specific variants, and me just being a bit of a perfectionist, I wanted to convert and actually have the variants they requested. So I'm putting together this longbow. Most of the mechs were very simple to just source, but nobody out there has a proper LGB0H mech. And I think with that last little bit, we maybe have our mounting system set up and can go with it. Let's drop a save. Let's drop back into object mode and take a peek. The geometry's a little weird. Don't get me wrong. These polygons, they are probably like overdoing it, but we now have this longbow with this nice clean mounting point after much work. But I'm going to drop a save. And what we can do, I think, here is we're going to do a new cube, or we can reuse cube 1. Here we go. And we're going to smush cube 1 up into all the business that we're doing right here. Right here. Let's make sure we have it all selected. Yes. I think that's good. All right. First, we're going to duplicate our object. Duplicate object, which I screwed up here. Duplicate object is Shift D. So we're going to Shift D and then click without moving. Check the StreamLabs link in the stream description for the full list. Yeah. You make the model and send it to the person. No, I am making this model and I am printing it on my own printer, and I'll be fully painting it as part of the commission. Here, let me pull up my page on Fiverr. Let me do this in an incognito window so I'm not logged in. If you want to check out my link at fiverr.com/thurstonstudios, I'll toss that in the chat here. I paint lances. So for 150 bucks, is it really? Yeah, for 150 bucks, I will print, paint, and ship a lance to your door. For 200, I'll do a catalyst lance, but I also do single models. I do custom work as well, but it's for this type of work. I'm building up my own library of STLs. I have a pretty extensive. Let me pull all this up. I have a pretty extensive collection of chassis to choose from. So if anyone out there is interested in picking up their own commission, hit me up. Check it out. It doesn't cost anything to send an inquiry. All right, so we're going to rename Cube 5, and we're going to call this Longbow, right arm, no weapon. Or we'll call it right arm mount. PAL. And we're going to take a modifier, we're going to generate a Boolean, and we're going to do the intersection of this and that. That didn't work. Let's switch it to fast solver. There we go. Okay. We're going to execute this. Apply. And now I think the way to do this is we're going to take cube 4 and right arm mount. No. Cube 4 and right arm mount. And we're going to mirror these. We're going to mirror these along the X. Yes. All right, and then we're going to slide them together. Wait. I did the wrong operator. Let's roll this back. Rolling it back. Hold on a second. Cube 4. What's the problem here? This is cube 4. And we'll hide that. And then we have... Oh, I have cube on there as well. Shit. Okay. So this is just that. I got confused for a moment. We're going to select cube 4 and longbow right arm mount, and we're going to mirror these X. Right? Yes, that is correct. And now we will slide these into place until they line up just so. It's just about right. Let's hide cube and see how close we are. I think we've got it lined up just right. I don't think we've... Okay, it's not quite correct. Maybe it is. Can't really tell. It's a little too far to the right. Okay, so let's select cube and longbow again, and we'll shift this until it's right. And the idea is we've got cube selected as well. I think that looks good now. It's doing a weird thing right here. Shit. Doing a weird thing here. We want to try to line that up as good as we can. I don't think the geometry is perfect. But now what we can do is start numerically moving this around. Let's see. No, that's wrong. Let's get it lined up with X. Get it lined up with Y. Lined up with Z. Okay. Get it nice and lined up, and it should, like, the geometry should kind of pop into place when it's right. And I think that's close enough right there. Might surprise a friend with his precious fire song, the Atlas. Yes, definitely hit me up if you're interested. I would be surprised if it was perfectly mirrored. Yeah, it is not quite. It is not quite perfectly mirrored. But I think, honestly, I think it's close enough that it's going to work. And now what we're going to do is we're going to show our cube again. And we're going to take our longbow. We're going to drop a save again. We're gonna Boolean our longbow. We're gonna Boolean our longbow to the cube and get rid of that arm. Now, apply. Bam, just like that. We'll hide our cube, and we should now have this like flat plane. And what we're gonna do then, because our cube and our thingamabob were so perfectly set up that we can select these together, bow, and we can join them, which is Control J. Yeah, there we go. We now have a longbow model. Well, I need to get rid of this floating bit right here, which we'll just do with we'll do in edit mode, and we'll just get rid of that. Let's get rid of all those faces. Bow. Let's get rid of all of it. Faces. That's gone. Okay. Now I know we've been going slow and working at this, but like that is huge. Big project. The floaty thing is just where I had the cube left a little bit of the arm sticking out. Okay, let's go back to object mode. I now have this model, which I can share this as well. This is a longbow that's ready to receive weapons. And that has been a long time working. We've been at this for over an hour and a half, but this is the hard part, I think, honestly. This is where we're at now. So what we want to do is go back, and we're going to open our Eris 3R. And the thing is, I want some of these parts off of here. I want this thing. So what we're looking for is it in torso? No. Longbow says I got no hands, Lieutenant Dan. Yeah, exactly. We want, I think it's just all of this? No. Where's my right torso stuff? That, and that. But I need the housing. I need to figure out how to get that housing. Torso. Nope. I found it earlier when I was mucking around. So we're looking for it. We just need to figure out where, like this I think would be too much, to be honest. We could try it, but I don't think it's gonna look good. I want nice square boxy some nice square boxy stuff, but I need to figure out like what this is. And it is maddening. Oh, let's come into object mode. There we go. That's the problem. Excellent. There we go. Now I can duplicate this thing. No, I selected the wrong dang thing. I need this. And all of these. And I want to duplicate objects and put it over here. Yes, there we go. I want to take this thing, and then we're going to join this. Control J. This now becomes its own object without being linked. And we can I think what we want to do now is just get rid of you. Bam, whole thing. Let's get this thing rotated. Actually, what we'll do, we're going to right click, we're going to set our geometry to origin. Set origin to 3D cursor, set geometry to origin. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to export this as an STL, and we'll toss this into our conversions box. Excuse me. Country Fried Minis posted some launchers and 3D printing. Not sure if it'll help or not. Let's take a peek. Also, it is War Crimes o'clock. Got another share from Slink over on the Discord. We got a Kentaro, a Dragon, a Hatamoto Chi, and a Jenner in fabulous Kurita Red. It looks like your speed paint is still doing a little bit of the pooling, but for the most part, you've really nailed down a technique to mitigate that like mottled appearance. I think it's just this particular pigment that's doing the thing. It looks really good on the Jenner with that effect, but I think it just these big panels are doing the same thing that the Space Marines do with the GW paints. These look awesome, my guy. I love this new dragon. That boy is silly, and it does hold to the original art. Fantastic work. I'm gonna toss you a star over on the Discord as well. And you said you posted some missile launchers. Let's take a peek at these. It is a raised missile launcher. It's like kind of like a MLRS thing going on here. Oh, let me do that again. Now let's open that up. How many is this? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, 25. 25 each. The number of these doesn't really work too great. But those are an awesome asset. Those are going to go in the conversion box as well. So what is MLRS tank? My minifig? Fuck yeah. There's much I have to do now. Till next time, have a good time. I apologize, Commander Kudrow. I missed you taking off. It was an absolute pleasure to chat with you. And I think I love your idea of the short bow. Any discrepancies will disappear when you recalculate the exterior. Yeah, that's what I thought. That is what I thought. The dragon was just sloppy too. Oh, yeah, it happens. Okay, so conversions. Wait. I have conversion bits here. We're gonna call this. What am I sharing? This is. This is. Rocket launcher X40. Export STL. Okay. All right, and now we're going to open recent temp project, and we're going to not save because I don't want to lose that. And we're going to import our STL that we just made. It's BattleTech. No, I'm in the wrong folder. Need to go to the proper hard drive. We're going to go BattleTech. We're going to go Inner Sphere. No, conversion bits. And what was it called? Rocket Launcher X40. Import STL. Now we have this fantastic object that we will get into position and start turning it till it aims the direction we want it to. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees there, and we're going to rotate it -45, and I think that looks pretty damn good. Is that lined up on the XY? I think it is. 3D Cults Vitacin is where I got the dragon model. Wait, that's a 3D print? No way. Vitacin Cults 3D. I must have it. That is a 3D print. Holy moly. Yeah, look at that beautiful boy. And it's free? No way. Look at that gorgeous lad. Gorgeous, gorgeous model. Yeah, thank you. Let's get that downloaded. Thank you for that. All my Lunar Lancers are 3D printed, so every one of that Corridor Lance is a 3D print. No shit. Wait. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay, I do recognize the Hatamoto now that you mention it. Okay, so also that's like 7 variants in that download as well as separated parts. Amazing. Amazing. All right, so we're going to save this temporarily. We need to open back up our Eris blend here and go from this to object mode. I need this part. I need this part right here. So we're going to copy that. We're going to paste that. And no. I just want this thing. There we go. Now, there is like some kind of anchoring going on that I don't know how to get rid of. It's throwing me off a little bit. Maybe if I just delete all of this. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll set geometry to origin, set origin 3D cursor, set origin geometry to origin, file export STL, and we're gonna call this Rocket Launcher 10, I guess. And it goes in conversion bits. And we're gonna call it. Did I call that one Rocket Launcher X? Yeah, we'll call this Rocket Launcher X10. Gambles. Kind of a little bit up and down there. All right, we're gonna open recent that guy. Don't save. All right, so this is 40x here. So what we'll do is we're gonna smash this into place till it works. We may extend this front to back a little bit. That looks okay. I think I'm all right with that. It needs to be extended a little bit. We could push it back some. I need it kind of sitting flush with the back end. Yeah, we're gonna scale this out just a little bit. We're gonna stretch it some. All right, that's looking pretty good there. And we're gonna Shift D duplicate and push it over. And just duplicate it, just straight up. And now we want to import that's 80. So we want, I'll post the even better pics head. The funny thing about the Lance photo I posted, those aren't going to, they are going to get redone. The picture quality wasn't good enough for my buddy, so he's going to redo all of them. Nice. Nice. All right, so now we're going to import our new rocket. Excuse me. Conversion bit. We're going to do our rocket launcher times 10. And this thing's got to get kind of angled how we want it. So let's adjust its rotation. First off, we want it -90. And then it needs to be rolled. Let's try negative 45 in that direction. That's not quite right. Is it 60? That looks about right. Let's get a view and see if it is indeed on an axis. I think it was a 60 degree. Okay. Now, how big did we make these things with the scaling? We make them a little longer. And then, yes. And then we need to put 2 of these on our lad. And what we'll do is we'll slap this on top. Oh, they should go underneath, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. They should just both be underneath. So, negative 270 rotation. No, that's shit. Negative 210. It's like a weird 60 degree off. Negative 240. Yeah, that's what it was. All right. And then we want these on the bottom. This needs just a little bit more space. Yeah. This will go here. Shade smooth by angle. I don't know if that is quite working. Why is that like not quite lined up how we need it? I kind of want that just inside of this thing right here. Yeah, that works really well. And then we're going to Shift D to duplicate. We're going to click it. Nope. Try to not move the mouse when we do that. And we're going to attach it right there. And just like that, we have a longbow with 100 rockets on the arm there. I think this needs to get scooched a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll select all of these. Select all of those. We're going to Shift D duplicate. And then we're going to mirror. Where's it at? Mirror X. And slide them over and put them into place. How far off is this? It's basically flush. Basically flush with the edge over here. We are so close to having a longbow LGBOH model out there. Yeah. This needs to get boosted just a little bit. And now we have a boombox. Check that out. I need to put some stacks in right here. But let's drop a save for now. We need to get... I think we'll just stack up our new rocket launcher times 10. Yeah. So where's the rotation here? We want this 60 degrees or negative 60. Negative 60, negative 90. That's what it was. Negative 60, negative 90. And then we're gonna brute force these into position. Because there's gonna be so many tubes, it's just gonna, you know, eat up the space anyways. Is that gonna work? I think that is gonna work. I think that is indeed gonna work. Does that need some kind of internal support rod or something? What print like that seems gappy in places. I think it should be okay. I'll join it all together as well. I will indeed join it all together and then recalculate the exterior. And then we'll duplicate this. Oh, shit. Duplicate. And we'll do that. Just like that there. Could we maybe even put that lower one further down and then more forward even? No. I think we need to rethink this one a little bit. We want to push this thing back some. Maybe we'll do 2 of them, and then we'll duplicate this one and rotate it. Can we get away with them all staggered like that? What if we just lay this one flat right there? We can make this work. There is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. I could shrink these ones a little bit, actually, is what I'll do. Yeah, let's shrink these down some. Let's delete that. Let's scale these down to 0.8. And then we can get rid of that. Delete. I think scaling these is the way. Let's rotate this lad. It goes from -60 to +30. We'll copy paste. There's got to be an orientation that's going to work here. Maybe just 3 across like that will do. Can we fit 3 across? The 3 each side. What about 2 vertical? 2 vertical, then 2 horizontal in the middle. We still got to put PPCs down here as well. Hello, Disty Way. Who called me? Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's go back to full size with these. Bow, bow, bow. Let's go back to full size. I think we could maybe duplicate. Oh, shit. I keep moving the mouse when I do that. Duplicate. Duplicate, then click. Yeah, there we go. Let's... Not really sure the best approach here. We are brute forcing a thing. we set those like so. I kind of want to stretch them some front to back. Was that 1.4? We could do that. Yeah, let's do 1.4 in that direction. I just want the backs of the rockets kind of buried. I think that is the way. And we'll get this in place right there. Yeah, I need it to kind of disappear into the mech a little bit. Location 5.6761. 6761. 6761. There we go. And then we'll put one right on top as well. Shade smooth by angle. Bam, bam. We shall duplicate you, click, move it up, rotate this 90 degrees to the right, which is actually going to be like, oh, come on now. I need to, it's actually going 30 degrees, so we're going to go 90 in the negative direction, which means we're going negative 60. Just because I exported in a strange way. All right. And then we can set this right on top of the other two. And see, it is doing weird stuff with the geometry back there, unfortunately. Can we shift them all down into the chassis somewhat? No. We could put this one like more forward, like so. And then we could underslug the what you call it? The PPCs. And then we actually want to mirror this guy. I think mirror X. This is tough. This is a tough alignment. This one is a tough one. Mirror Y. No. Mirror Z. Can we just like stick it up underneath here and have it work? Maybe not. I'm thinking more and more the way to do this is to line it up with the angled pods. Like that. And then we can underslug the PPC underneath. How many launchers is that? It's 100 tubes on the arms and 30 each on the torsos. It's absurd. Wireframe view helps with making geometry. Yeah, but there's going to be so much. There's going to be so much. I'm not going to be able to see what the hell I'm doing. Unfortunately. If it was a reasonable amount of geometry, I would be inclined to agree. Yeah, I think we're going to line this up here. Because why not? Just like that. Oh, I tilted it in a weird way. Right to left. It is like not... No, it is in line. It is in line. Huh. Okay. Maybe we push it out a little further. It'll start to make sense. Yeah. It looks like it's tilted inward, but it is not. We push this out a little bit. That doesn't work. I think the way to deal with this is to compress this a little bit. So let's scale it. No, damn it. Can we shrink it? It's -0.9, and then y 0.9. If we shrink this a little bit, will it work still? I think so. That looks a little better. We'll shrink the other ones as well. And we'll even go negative 0.8. Negative 0.8. Let's go even smaller with it, and we can shrink the other ones as well. I just want it to fit inside this stuff with that overlap in the nose there. It's going to be a fantastic ammo day. Oh, hell yeah. You are absolutely right. And now it's lined up in that tube. Yeah, that's looking all right. The angle's still a little bit off. Let's get that tilted. Just a bit more. Tiny bit more. It's hard to do small increments. I guess I could numerically do this. Let's try 75 degrees. 75 is not enough. Let's go 77. Okay. 80 degrees. 80 is too much. 78. 77.5. 76.5. I think that did it. And we'll bump that thing up just a bit. There we go. I think that has it. Now, we do want to shrink this one a little bit to match it, just because I'm a perfectionist. So that's 0.8 on the X and Z. So we'll go 0.8, and we'll go 0.8 here. And then this guy will also do the same thing. 0.8, and we'll go 0.8 here. Damn. No, we'll go back to the full size. This just gets shrunk a little bit. I don't think folks would notice. I'm not going to kill myself on this. Let's just get it in position. Let's duplicate these objects. So Shift D, click without moving. Slide them over here, and we will right click and go mirror X. And then get that lined up in the right spot. I think that's just about right. Needs to be a little more over. All right. So I think with that, we have our longbow with a ton of rockets. I wish these things were a little longer, honestly. And I almost think we could probably get away with that, to be honest. Yeah, I think so. Let's scale them forward. Just want this one dimension. There we go. Why is it growing? I don't understand why I'm dragging this one thing and it's not supposed to be growing in all directions. That's wrong. So it's Z. 1.5. Oh, it's because it's in two directions. because the whole thing was angled. That's why. That's why. It's looking great, though. See, a severe lack of the weapons that people forget when looking at said longbow. Yes. I'm missing 2 PPCs, and I got to figure out where to put them. And I think I have just the weapons for that right here. Right here we go. Where is that PPC? Oh my god, that thing is huge. Why is that so big? Geometry to origin, and then put it in position. It kind of looks really cool, though. I'm not gonna lie, that does look awesome. Let's just do it. Let's just smash that in there. Why not? This is a Marauder cannon. I was thinking we'd go under with it, but that looks absolutely crazy. We maybe need to compress this thing a little bit. No, it looks great. Look at that silliness. Silly boy. It's perfect. Shift D, duplicate, click it down. Get it in position. Yeah. This actually needs to rise up a little bit on this end. Just a bit. How about it? You know, how about that? How about that nonsense? I kind of think they need to be compressed a little bit front to back. Which what we'll do right here. Let's make it 0.8. Yeah, I know. They're big. They look awesome, but like, I think having those too long removes a little bit of the spectacle that is the rockets. Plus, we can come forward a bit with them, which I like. Let's get an overhead view and scoot this forward just a little bit more till they're in line. How about it? I mean, it's a mess. It's very obviously a mess. But I think that does it, right? That's our longbow, right? Mega Mech Longbow LGB-OH. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left arm rockets, 10 right arm rockets, 3 in the torso, and a PPC on each. There she is. It looks very silly. Exceptionally silly. Now, is there a way to set an orientation of objects? Like, let's see, if I were to join this, can I then grow it in one dimension? No. Okay, let's join. That is now one object. Okay. Yeah, I don't... It's so weird that... Because it's at a bizarre angle, the geometry is weird. I don't even know how I would begin to look that up, to be honest. But that is my Kitbash version of the LGB-OH. Right there. So... I will save this project. I will select all of it. I will join, which Control J. This is now one object. We're We're going to go into edit mode. We're going to select everything. We'll go to mesh, normals, recalculate outside. We'll delete everything else in here. And we will export the STL of this file into 3D printing, BattleTech, inner sphere, L for Longbow, and we will call this LGB-0H remix. We'll call it Kitbash. Kitbash. Export STL. All right. Now we're going to go into 3D printing folder. Should also delete internal. I don't know how to do that, and I'm worried it's going to break a lot of stuff. I don't think it's as simple as you're making it. Okay, edit mode, unselect everything. Control-Alt-Shift-M. Which just muted me in here. That's not, doesn't actually do, it didn't actually do what it said. Control-Alt-Shift-MX? What? Control-Alt-Shift-M. That doesn't do anything. Do you see how much geometry is? That's too much geometry. Select interior faces. This is the problem with Blender. Everything turns into a dive. Customize settings. Nothing. I'm not even going to click the confirm nothing. Does Blender remove internal geometry when joining objects? No, but when you recalculate the exterior, 3D slicer software should ignore it. But I may have some issues here with the fact that I had mirrored some stuff, so we shall see once I load this up. What was this thing called? This is our Longbow. L for Longbow. L for Longbow. Kitbash. Enter. Alright, it just didn't work. It just didn't do anything. Alright, this is a problem. This is a problem. What is the problem now? What is the problem? What is the problem here? What is the problem? Open. All right. Okay, so we're going to undo, 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 undo. That's as far as I can go. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. I can't undo. There we go. All right. I'll be right back. Let's BRB screen for a second. All right, where are we sitting at? Give me more yarn. It will ease my mind. More yarn. More yarn. Okay. Let's sit here and think for a second. All right. Select all of this. Control J. Edit mode. Select all. Mesh. Normals. Recalculate outside. Do the thing. Recalculate normals. Okay. I should be able to go back into here. And we delete all of that. Okay. File. Set geometry to origin. Okay. Export STL. LGB 0H Kitbash. Hit the button. Let it go. We're going to sit back for a second. And now we're going to undo a whole bunch of stuff till our parts come back. Come back parts. There we go. And we're going to run this again. Perfect. All right, it's there. But just as I feared, the part that we had chosen was one of the mirrored ones. So what we need to do here is we need to rejoin it. Okay, I'm going to drop a save state now. Let's do that first. So I can now Control J, join those together. We'll delete all that. POW. We'll select our object. We'll go into edit mode. We'll press A to select all. And we will mesh. We will normals. And we will recalculate inside. Yes. Done. Back to object mode. We will export this STL as LGB 0H Kitbash. We'll run it. Give it a second. Let it do its thing. And we're going to double click this again. Fingers crossed. Bow, there she is, y'all. There she is. There she is. That is a working model. Does it have geometry that would make more sense if it was put together? Yes. I mean, but that is an LGB0H STL file that should print just fine. Are there gaps? Yeah, there's little gaps. Are they going to matter? Not at this scale. No. There she is, and we're going to upload that model. Well, let's make sure. That model is 20,000 kilobytes. So I'm going to upload the LGB0H Kitbash on the Country Fried Minis Discord. I'll bring that up over here so you can see right here. If you're a member of the Country Fried Minis Discord, come on over. If you want this model, it is yours. And give her a download. That's a done thing. The other thing, I did kind of want to do that other mech. Let's open recent. Bam. Don't save. Yeah, there we go. What was the other variant? Can we slap together the other one in 30 minutes before I call this stream? What was it? The LGB 10K. There's a head-mounted medium pulse laser and a center torso-mounted ER large laser. Cylindrical housings remain. Can we fit 2 Ultra AC-20s on this? So if I were to just get rid of that, and this, and that, 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 I think the holdup here would be smoothing this over, but I may be able to do it. Let's see how easily we could do that. If I were to go into edit mode, and then just... What if I just select all these vertices and merge them into one? That is so very ham-fisted, but it... that worked really well. Actually, that worked so stupidly well. Okay. We'll select all these. We're going to merge with M at center. Perfect. I cannot believe how well that worked. Just smash the geometry together, you know? Bam, 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 bam. M. Smash it all together. Pow. And that is now just a flat surface. Okay. So, we'll do the same here. Man, I wish I knew about that when I was working on that Berserker. That you can just smash all that together and it works. It just works. Todd Howard would be so proud right now. M. Merge. Done. We got... Okay, cool. Object mode. It did create like a weird concavity there, but that... Who cares? It's fine. Give it a good pinch. Exactly. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, so this mech would have... This mech would have BattleTech conversion bits. It's going to have Ultra AC-20s. Oh, shit. I'm not importing OBJs. I'm importing STLs. I clicked the wrong thing. Conversion bits. Do I have an Ultra 20? Do I have an Ultra 20? I have an Ultra 10. And I have a LBX 20. Let's set geometry to origin. Let's shade smooth by angle. Let's see if this works. Can we just smash 2 of these together? I think it's a little too big, to be honest. Even though it's a 20. Let me just double check here. A pair of Ultra AC-20s, 1 per arm. Oh, no, we can leave it real big then. We'll just go full size with these. Rotate this lead. Actually, before I get too far into that, what about taking the Ultra? I had an Ultra somewhere. What if we took an Ultra AC-10, like that, and go set geometry to origin and just made it real big? Okay. So we want to grow this lad by X and Z. Well, we just double it. We just straight up double this thing like that. And make a big old chunky lad of a AC-20. Can I get away with that? Let's go negative 90 degrees on it. Does this work? I dare say it does. I dare say it works too well. We need to bring it forward a little bit. Let's shade it smooth by angle. There it is. I mean, it looks a little strange. We could maybe come down a little bit. Let's go 1.8. 1.8. There we go. I think that looks like an Ultra AC-20 to me. The bolts are a little comically sized, but it just works. It just works. All right, that's a chunky dagger. Yeah, it's got a pair of Ultra AC-20s. Okay, so we're going to Shift D duplicate while holding the mouse in the other hand. And we'll flip this over here. And we'll go 90 degrees with it. And we're going to get it similarly lined up. It's kind of somewhat inside of this part, just a bit. Okay, what else did this variant what else did this variant have? It had first let's go back to edit mode. The pinch here got a little weird, unfortunately. That's fine though. This mech has a head-mounted something. Where's it at? Where's it at? Longbow Sarna. Longbow. And we're making the 10K. Head-mounted medium pulse laser, center torso mounted ER large laser. Okay. So now we want to import STL. Man, we're blasting through this. Nearly sufficient DACA, that's funny. Is there no large laser? Let's see. Do I just have a laser? Yeah, there we go. Let's try that. Right click on this, shade smooth by angle, set geometry to origin. We're going to rotate this lad around negative 180. And we're going to move it up into place. And we're going to get like an asymmetry thing going on, I think. Will look really good on this thing. Let's push this laser. It doesn't need to be torso. It needs to be head for sure. In the head. Yeah, we'll do it right there. And then we're going to put a large laser down at the bottom. I think maybe this should be rotated some. It's going to make sense like that. And then it's negative 36. No. Yeah, negative 36, but I want it flipped from negative 36. So we need to add 180 to it. So what is that? 144? Still kind of want it like buried in it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Head-mounted laser. And then we need a large laser of some sort that distinctly looks like a large laser. So what we can do is we can import our STL, and I need a big laser. A big laser. Do I have a large laser of some sort? What's this PPC port look like? I don't think that really works. No. No, we'll just import another one of these and make it a little bigger. Import STL. And I want the... We'll just use the same asset and we'll make it bigger. So, shade smooth by angle, right click, we're gonna set geometry to origin. We're gonna bring it up. We're gonna rotate it around 180. We're gonna pull it out into place, which is gonna put us, I want it sticking out where the pilot would normally get into this thing. And we'll set that to 1.4 maybe. So like it looks distinctly bigger. And we can even have that coming out a little bit. Like that. It needs to cover over that a little bit there. There we go. I like the off-center thing it's got going on. And I really don't want to abandon that. All right, is that all this thing has? Let's pull up Mega Mech again. We're gonna do, it's the K, the 10K. View. It has Ultra AC20s, ER large laser, medium pulse laser. That's it. That's what it has. We're gonna select this whole thing. We're gonna Control J to join. We're gonna swap to edit mode. Select all. None of this was mirrored, or the medium laser part was not mirrored. So I think it should work when I go mesh, normals, recalculate outside, and then go back to object mode, delete everything else, boom. And I should be able to file, export, STL, and we'll go into it's the wrong folder. So 3D printing, BattleTech, Inner Sphere, Longbow, and this is a LGB-10K Kitbash. Export STL. Let us double check that it worked. And if this works, we just built this mech inside 10 minutes. So like the 2 hours of foundational work working up to that point helps a lot. All right, so we're gonna go Longbow. We're gonna go 10K Kitbash. We'll just double click it, boy. Fingers crossed. There it is. It's gonna print flawlessly. That is a Longbow with pair of Ultra AC20s, a little medium laser on its head, and a large laser right there. Incredible. Incredible. I will also post that. Let me make sure. This one is tiny. 8.3K KB. So once again, let me show y'all that I am posting right here on the Country Fried Minis Discord. You want these files? Make sure to come on over, join up, link in the description down below, especially if you're finding this via the algorithm after the fact. make sure to check out my offerings over on fiverr.com/Thurston Studios if you're interested in picking up a commission by myself. And yeah, I want to thank y'all for coming through and checking out what I've got going on tonight. Normally we do the paint streams here on Wednesday night, but I was not quite ready to start painting on this project. We're going to paint instead on Friday. We'll be streaming during the day, going for an EU-friendly stream. And one of those mechs included will be the longbow that I prepared earlier. In any case, that's all I got for you this evening. I'm feeling the fatigue of the day, of a long session of working. So I'm going to call it and wrap things up. If y'all have any ideas for fun stuff to do, especially if you're catching this via the algorithm, let me know in the comments down below. You know, hanging out in chat is the best way to interact, of course, but I do read all the comments. So like them, subscribe if you're into that kind of thing, and keep your eye out for more stuff here on Country Fried Minis. I will catch y'all for the next one. As always, I want y'all to remember to be happy while you're painting or editing or working on models, and to know that your participation here on Country Fried Minis makes me happy while I'm painting or editing or working on models. Anyhow, hope you're all doing well. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your evening. Catch y'all for the next one. Where's my shutting down? There it is. Bye-bye.
Well, you want to woo-woo? It's that woo-woo. You know what I'm saying?
Some neighbors are saying it way too loud.
That's only in the morning. He supposed to be up cooking breakfast or somebody, and so that's like an alarm clock. Woo-woo!